Hi, my name's John, and in this video I'm going to be leading you through Google Ads setup, whether you're running your own business or you're doing marketing for another business. And I'm going to work on taking you from beginner to expert through the course of this video. So if you've never advertised on Google Ads before, I'm going to lead you through the process and help you understand the whole thing. And we'll also be going over necessary vocabulary to know in getting started advertising your business, whether you are running a local business, a national business, or even just an affiliate marketing business. I'll be explaining to you the major terms you need to know and some more advanced terms that will help you take your ad campaigns and make them very profitable so that your business gets more leads, more sales, or just more exposure online using the power of Google. Now let's get into it. Stay tuned. Now, real quick, before I go into the Google Ads setup, a little bit about me is that I've been advertising on Google for over 10 years. And I currently run a business in the digital product space and currently spend about $200,000 per month for my business with Google Ads. And Google Ads has been very good to me. We make a very good ROI on our spend on the Google advertising platform. And I'm going to be sharing with you some of the real ninja tricks that I use to make sure that money I spend on Google ends up being very profitable for my business. Now, furthermore, my background, I used to work for an ad agency and I've managed over 500 accounts. I was the director of advertising at 2 separate ad agencies and the director of e-commerce at another ad agency. So I've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ad accounts and trained dozens of people on Google advertising in person and trained tens of thousands of people in Google advertisers online. So I'm coming from a place of a lot of experience when I say that I know what I'm talking about. Now, the first things to understand when you're starting with Google advertising is you need to understand what a campaign is. Now, a campaign comes from the kind of war term, like a war campaign. You're going to attack a village or a country or a region, and a campaign is basically just the basic organizational group for your advertising. And just like war campaigns go on a particular path, an ad campaign is not exactly a war. You're really just trying to get customers' attention, and it's a particular folder for a type of advertising that you're doing, whether that's search advertising, video advertising, display advertising, etc. An ad group is the next organizational element that is within Google advertising, and within an ad group, that's really where you set the targeting. You figure out who are you showing your ads to. Are you showing it to people who are interested in dogs? Are you showing your ads to people who are interested in cats? Are you showing your ads to people who are searching for laptops? Or are you showing your ads to people who are searching for, mobile phones? Whatever that is, you set that targeting in the ad group level, and then we move on to the ads. Now, underneath each campaign, you can have multiple ad groups, and underneath each ad group, you can have multiple ads. So just kind of the diagram here, right? It's a pyramid scheme, guys. It's a pyramid scheme. Look, it's pyramid shaped. That's a bad joke. Advertising is not a pyramid scheme. But what this is what you have multiple ads for is you want to continually split test which ads work. So we could play this game with what marker gets more attention. Does the red marker get more attention or the black marker gets more attention? I don't know. I guess is the red marker, but the point is when you're doing advertising, you want to put up the ad that gets the most attention. Now, if this ad gets 20% more attention than this ad, well, we end up saving 20% effectively when we go with this ad versus this ad. And if you do enough split testing over and over again, you win the game. So before I jump into the more advanced terminology, let me go into Google and show you some actual campaigns. What's up, guys? Now, to get started with Google Ads, what you want to do, it's pretty obvious. You search for Google Ads and you're going to click here to sign up if you aren't already signed up. But let's dive right into the campaigns. here we are in the Google advertising dashboard. Now what you'll want to do is you'll want to click this little button right here. That's the campaign button, and you'll click new campaign to set up your first, or maybe you've already done this before, ad campaign. So if you're completely new to advertising, you've never set up a Google Ads campaign before, if you could please just type in the comments, say, I'm a total newbie, or total beginner. That would really help me understand where everyone's coming from. And similarly, if you're an expert and you've done this many times before, let me know in the comments. Type in many times before, something like that. Just say like, this ain't my first rodeo, boy, to let me know if you've done this before, because I'd like to understand where you're coming from when you're watching this video so I can make future videos better serving you. So after I click new campaign, we'll see we get a bunch of selections. So we get sales, leads, product, brand consideration. We get all these different options. Now, what I prefer to do is I prefer to actually just create a campaign without the goals guidance. Okay, and after you click that button, you will get a bunch of different campaign selection types here. Now, one thing to please note is that Google Ads is changing their interface basically every other week. So what the interface looks like right now, it may look different when you're watching this video. So what I'm going to focus on, you see we have search, display, shopping, video, app, and smart ads. Okay, so what we want to focus on for this is, I think, Google's standard advertising, which is search advertising. And I found this to be the most effective. Then Google will ask you if you want to drive website visits, phone calls, or app downloads. Now, if you're a business that works primarily off of phone calls are a great way to get people. If you're a local business, such as a plumber or something like that, and you just want people to call your cell phone or your business phone or something like that, phone calls are a great way, and you don't even need a website to start advertising on Google. It's just click to call. People are searching on their phone, I need a plumber or pipe burst, and you'll show up. Now at this step, it's asking me for a business website, so I'm actually just going to find a link for a company that I work with called Regal Assets. I work with them as an affiliate marketer. So I'm just going to go over here to their dashboard, and I'm going to get some landing pages. Now, this is a company that pays me a commission every time I refer them somebody who invests with their company. This is a investment company, an alternative assets investment company that I've been working with for a number of years, and they pay me to do marketing for them. If you want to learn more about what I do for a living and how I earn my income, I'm in a space called affiliate marketing. And you can subscribe to my channel, make sure you hit the notification bell, and check out some of the other videos on my channel where I talk about affiliate marketing, and I talk about different business models that you can make money online, but I personally make my income through affiliate marketing, and I've made millions of dollars a year the last few years with this business model. So we have the website copied, and we're going to go back to Google where we are going to input our website. And let me zoom in a little bit, where we paste the website, and we're just going to click continue. So boom, we just set up our first search campaign. Now we have to set up the ad group and other information. So I'll just call this, YouTube demo, okay, just because it's a demo. Now in this, we only want to advertise on search, okay? One thing to note is you should never mix search and display advertising. They're two completely different types of advertising, and trying to cross-pollinate with the same targeting is going to end up losing you a lot of money. Only select one or the other. Okay, so now we're going to scroll down here. There's nothing that we really care about to set here. If you need to send an end date, you can set it right there, but don't worry about these settings. Next, we're going to go to targeting and audiences, and this is where we set where we want to advertise to. In this case, I'm going to set the ads to go to United States, so this targeting is fine, but if you want to actually, target specific areas, you can just type in Bahamas, and here we have Bahamas, and I would click target. Maybe I want to target Puerto Rico, click target, and American Samoa, and I just click again, just type it in and click target right there. Cool? Easy stuff. Languages, as you see, we already have English selected, but if you want to target different languages, you can add in different languages and they will be added in right there. Okay. Now, if we're doing search advertising, I don't recommend you actually select any audiences. Audiences are targeting form that you might use for a display campaign or something like that. So we're going to ignore this selection right now. That's for more advanced types of advertising. We're going to focus on search. Now, the budget we're going to set for the day is, we'll just say $20, okay? So $20 is a good budget if you're a small business. I generally set my budgets a little higher, but we won't go into that. Basically $20 right there. And we will set our delivery method for accelerated. Now, the reason we set our delivery method to accelerated is because the goal is not to waste money. So if we do our targeting right, if we make sure our ads show up on the right keywords, we want to show our ads as many as possible. We want to show them as much as possible. We're not trying to save money here because we're trying to spend money to make money. So if every $20 we spend makes us $40, we want to spend it as fast as possible. We don't care about drip feeding it. That's kind of scarcity mentality to advertising. With advertising, you have to think of abundance mentality. But at the same time, we have our daily budget set at $20. So we shouldn't be spending more than $20 a day while we're testing and trying to get that, get that ROI, or that point where we can spend $20 and make back the business more than that. So the next thing we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on the bidding. So we see right here is bidding, and let me know in the comments below if this is a brand new advertising account. Let me know in the comments below if this is brand new. If you're brand new, you won't have conversion tracking set up. So we're not going to go with conversion tracking yet. Once you get more data in your campaign, you can do that. But we're going to focus on clicks for the time being because I'm just going under the assumption you don't have conversions yet. Now, we're not going to set a maximum CPC bid. This is an optional thing, and we don't need to worry about that right now. By default, it's set to maximize bids, which is fine. Now, the next thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at show more settings. Now, if I was advertising a particular company which only took phone calls, right? Let's say you are a plumber and you want to get more leads to, people calling you that have broken pipes or whatever. You'd advertise on burst pipe, but you're not going to take a phone call in the middle of the night. So what you would do is you would go to this selection right here, add schedule, and you would just say, hey, Mondays through Fridays, I'm only taking calls from 7 a.m. to, let's say you want to end the day early at 4 p.m. So that's what you would set your advertising to. So that way your ads only show at the times when you're going to be available to actually take the call. The next setting is ad rotation, and this is fine. We don't need to do anything here. It says prefer best performing ads. Sometimes I will change this to do not optimize because I'm in my advertising accounts every single day. It's my business, but we're just going to leave it at optimize. Last but not least are ad extensions, and you'll see they have a little marketing thing here. Get up to 15% conversion rate by adding additional information. And that's true, but let's not complicate anything. Let's just focus on getting your ad up, and you can come back in later and add, these different call extensions, which is the phone number, call out extensions, etc. You can add these all to your account very easily. But the most important thing with advertising, if you're a small business, is just getting that ad up, because that's the first step. If you don't have marketing, if ads up, your competitors probably do, and they're getting those customers. So next thing we do is we click save and continue. Woo! We set up our campaign. Now we're moving on to setting up our ad group, where we're going to set up the settings to actually determine where our ad gets shown. Now, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of little stuff in setting up your first ad, but don't worry, it gets easier as time marches forward. So here we are, as you see, basically we're half of the way done, and we're just gonna say, YouTube test group, and I'm gonna say, I don't even know what this setting is. Google is adding new stuff all the time. But this is where we copy or paste our keywords. Now, in the case of this company, which I'm advertising, which is named Regal Assets, and you can see their website right here, and they, request your free metals or crypto kits. They focus on people basically over the age of 50 who are looking for alternative investments into precious metal or cryptocurrency. So they actually give me some of the top 20 performing keywords for their particular niche. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these keywords, and what I could do is I could just copy them and put them into an ad group and bid on them and save the group. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do research first. I'm not just going to go by what the company suggests. I'm going to go to what's called the Google Keyword Tool. Now, to find the Google Keyword Tool, I just go to Google and I'm going to type in keyword, oopsies. I'm going to type in keyword tool right there, and you will see right here, the second result, which is kind of odd, is the Google Keyword Research and Keyword Planner tool. So within the Google Keyword Tool, we're actually going to, there's two options right now. They change this tool all the time. It's so frustrating. It may look different next week, so just bear that in mind. We're not going to click on the Discover New Keywords thing. We're actually going to click on the Get Search Volume and Forecasts right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste my keywords and I'm going to click this button, Get Started. So now here we see a bunch of keywords, and what does this all mean? Now, I have a typical rule for how I advertise, and I look for keywords that have between 2,000 to 10,000 impressions per month in the given place that I'm advertising, and then I create a keyword group around them. So looking at this grouping, we can see that we'll just sort this by impressions. And just to help you understand my reasoning, over 10,000, I believe, is too untargeted. So there's a better ad group that you could go after if there's so much search volume. And under 2,000, I found is sometimes a little too targeted, and you're not going to get enough volume to justify having an ad group solely devoted to those ads. My strategy with advertising has always been based around efficiency, so that one person can manage an account that spends, a lot of money. So let's check this out. So the keywords I would be interested in creating ad groups around are these keywords. And as we can see, I'm going to focus on this for right now, gold investment. Now, the way I would do this ad group is I would actually do 3 keywords, as the very basics. So what I would do is you can see right here, there are 3 match types. Don't worry too much about how this works. This is it's a much longer explanation of how match types work, but you can click this button if you really want to learn more about this. So the basic structure that I do is I will do a 3 keyword ad group, and I will do 1 in exact match, 1 in phrase match, and 1 in modified broad, which is a special match type that you have to do research on if you really want to find it. So, and I would just name the ad group Gold Investment. Now this is I found the best, most efficient way to advertise. I generally try to keep my ad groups around 8 to 12 keywords, maybe only 1 modified broad keyword, which is what I call the root keyword of the campaign. And I always name the ad group the root keyword, which is gold investment in this case. Don't worry about that. If this is flying over your head, don't worry. Basically, just remember, focus on keywords that are between 10 and 2,000 searches. If you are a national business, if you're a local business, you can, you'll only really need 1 or 2 ad groups for your entire business. So let's click save and continue here. Now, and keep in mind too, there's so many different examples of businesses here. There's app businesses, there's video businesses. I can't go over every single example. And if you have some questions, I'll try to answer them in the comments. So I hope you've been getting a lot of value out of this video so far and learned something about Google AdWords and how to set up your ads. Now, again, if you'd like to learn more about this, I recommend you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that notification bell so that you can get updated if I'm doing a live Q&A or something like that. and like this video. On my channel homepage, you will see I have free trainings and mini courses. I have a section about that where you can actually get a 10-part course about Google AdWords for small and medium-sized businesses. And this is completely free. So you can learn about how to set up Google AdWords for your business. If you want to learn more about what I do as an independent marketer, or what's called an affiliate marketer, there are also other videos and trainings where you can learn more about all the different ways that there are to really make money as an independent marketer on the internet. Now, I'm going to go into a few quick terms that you might need to know, and then I'm going to end the video. Now, CTR is something you'll want to know in order to optimize your campaign. You can look up this term, but the main other term is conversion rate, or CR. These are how you'll optimize your campaigns. Click-through rate says which ad gets more clicks, and you'll want to go with the ad that gets the highest click-through rate when you're split testing, and you just continually do that. That's marketing. Same thing with conversion rate. If you are measuring conversions, if somebody buys a product on your site and one ad or one keyword is getting more sales, is creating more revenue for your company than another keyword, you'll want to put more of your money into this keyword and drop the rest of the keywords that aren't making you money. And that's how you'll optimize your campaigns, and you do that over and over and over again, and your marketing gets more targeted. Now, the way you actually measure if people are buying on your site is you use what's called a conversion pixel, or a pixel right there. And again, you can Google these terms. There's a lot more information on exactly how you can use a conversion pixel and how you can optimize data based on CTR and CR, but I'll leave that for another video in the future. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel, give this video a big like, and let me know in the chat or in the comments what you found the most interesting about this video. Was it setting up your campaign? Was it targeting within the ad group? Or was it, putting up ads and split testing and CTR and conversion rates? Whatever it was, make sure you put it in the comments and let me know what you'd like to see in future videos that I shoot, because I can make sure to go even deeper into Google AdWords, as it is one of my favorite ways to market online in the world. I absolutely love this program, and I've been messing around with it for 10 years now. It's like it's like a brother to me. So talk to you soon. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and looking forward to showing you more cool stuff on my channel. See you soon.